22151. Yes, 22151. That's our SMS number. 22151. And also you can call in live. Our numbers are appearing on your screen. We have 0732 142 041. That's 0732 142 041. And also you can call in on 0732 142 017. And we are going to get your feedback on who you think will win the AFCON. And also not only that, we are going to be taking your feedback on what you think about AFCON 2025 and what's your expectation about the tournament. Before we dive into it, let me first read 2-3 messages on 22151. I was diving into it. Morocco to win, Samuel Muzai from Ruiru. Mwangi, Kayole, Morocco will win. Senegal, ni Mkangai.
Ni Mkangai amesema Senegal.
Nafikiri huyu Mkangai. Nasema Senegal. Na anasema na ikujange kila siku. Haya, I'm Evans Mogoro from KCO. Mliniambia ni wapi? Kericho.
Kaka mimi sijui.
Morocco will win AFCON. Algeria ni Joyfrey. Asante sana. I'm Aaron from Migori. Egypt will win it. Willy kutoka Nax. Senegal to win AFCON. Na ni fan wa Chelsea. South Africa, huyo ni Emmanuel from Nakuru. Morocco to be the champion. I'm John Mudhoka from Kitui. Kinanga from Dandora anasema Morocco will win. And then zingine tatu hivi before I hand it to Robi. Morocco to win AFCON, huyo ni Frank Jenga. Egypt to win, Wafula akiwa Mariakani. Morocco itabeba AFCON ni Anna kutoka Taita. My name is Musila, Egypt all the way. Morocco to win. And then Ramavich anasema from Isiolo, Morocco to win. Senegal or Algeria, huyo ni Oscar. And then Tansi anasema Tansi, Morocco will win. Morocco will win, na mwingine hapo hajasema jina, na mwingine pia anasema Uganda hajasema jina. Alafu Morocco will win ni Stivo from Kambi Mawe. Asante sana Stivo. Na Jose from South Sudan. Nasema Morocco to win.
Okay.
South Sudan.
Yes.
South Sudan to win. Sorry, ameshikanisha kashikana sana. Sasa.
Yes. It's beginning to look like Christmas, and before Christmas, the biggest tournament in in African football, of course, kicks off on Sunday. Morocco taking on Comoros, and that forms the basis of our discussion this evening, because we want to break it down on what to expect. Before we get into the groups, I want us to run through the numbers of the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, these are the numbers. Yes, it's not 100 days to kick off; it's 1 day to kick off. And remember, this is the 35th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. Let's move on from this day now. Let's take a look at the other numbers. Now, 52 matches will be played in this tournament. So after 51 matches, the 52nd match, that is where we'll know the winner. And then 24 teams are participating. Cedric, of the 24, 12 are former champions. And then the opening match, 21st of December at Complex Sportive Prince. And then, of course, the final match will be played on the 18th of January. That is when we'll have the final match. Let's move away from the opening and closing matches. And then we do have 6 groups, which means we'll have 36 group stage matches. And then 9 stadiums are being used for this tournament. Egypt is the country with the most titles. Ivory Coast are the defending champions. Let's move away from that. We move to the other big piece of number that is very, very big. The all-time top scorer of Africa Cup of Nations is Samuel Eto'o with 18 goals. Yes, but there's that push and pull between him and Mark Bryce, who's submitted the best squad for AFCON. And this is the official ball that will be used for this edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, there are 6 groups in AFCON 2025. We begin with Group A, which has Morocco, Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. That is Group A. Let's go to Group B. And in Group B, you have Egypt, South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. That is Group B. We move to Group C, and in Group C we have Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and the neighbors, Tanzania. Now, Group D, also very interesting. You have Senegal, DR Congo, Benin, and Botswana. Yes, very interesting group. And then in Group E, you have Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, and Sudan. And finally, in Group F, that is where we have Ivory Coast, the defending champions, with Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique. So let's roll it back to Group A now. Let's go back to Group A and break it down. Dennis, through the Group A. Cedric Musumba, the hosts, Morocco. They're together with Mali, Zambia, and Comoros. What are you expecting from this group?
I'm pretty assuming that it might end up the way it started, whereby Morocco will actually be leading that particular group, followed closely by Mali, and maybe Zambia will be struggling to see if it can displace Mali, which, and again, I don't necessarily think it will be that quite easy, seeing how they have been struggling in the World Cup qualifier, vis-a-vis how they played also in Chan. So as to say, no, not necessarily the squad that they brought in Chan, the one that being represented them, but, and again, they have been struggling to find a team that really played well for them in 2013.
Yes.
Morocco, they are really boasting of a very oiled squad, having coming from all the way from semi-final at the World Cup. Remember the likes of Roman Saiz, Naif Aged, who is now in the club Marseille, Olympic Marseille. That is, they have like Youssef El Nesri, they have forward line. They have Brahim Diaz, the Real Madrid forward midfield. And that is what makes that particular team so strong and favorites coming to this particular tournament. The quality it has, and it can change that particular quality all the way from the bench, given that their bench is also equally strong. And more so, if you add top on it, they are playing back at home. So as to say, they will be rallied behind by their fan. It becomes so favorite in this particular
Mali has
tournament.
the likes of Bissouma.
Mali, the likes of Bizuma, they also have the likes of Mamadou Diarra. They have also Koulibaly and Lesane Senayoko, to remember. But they haven't actually been living. Since they played in 2023, I think, final against Ivory Coast, they have not been the same. We have seen in the club qualifier, I think they picked up at the tail end of the World Cup qualifier when they played against Ghana. And you could see now the Mali that was there in Africa Cup of Nations 2023. If that form is what they still present up to now, then they will be there actually to push and challenge for this particular tournament. Also remembering very well that in 2023, when they are being still coached by the now current Nigerian coach, it's their coach who messed up their squad, but they were favorite in that particular tournament, and they would have ended up winning their first Africa Cup of Nations. If not, coach actually making some really uninformed substitute at the tail end of the tournament.
Yes, let's move to Group B. Roger Shtemi, Group B, this is where you get to tackle it, and that, you know, in Group B we have the most successful country in Africa when you talk about Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt. They are facing South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. What is your take from this group?
I think the man of the moment, of course, is Mohamed Salah. Most of the time, he has been coming to AFCON when he's in a good form for Liverpool, and he has won literally everything with Liverpool. The only medal that is not in his cabinet is the AFCON. And, you know, having come twice closer to this tournament, you know, it's time for him maybe to at least lift it and win it with before he calls today with the Faroes. But it will not be a walk in the park, because definitely
South Africa have all players that are in the squad play at home.
Yeah,
is that going to be an advantage for them?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The South African league is it's in their own class, and, you know, looking at how maybe they have grown in the recent years, I think the last 3 decades or so, they've been trying to improve day in, day out, and, you know, missing out of some of the finals have really ignited that eager and anger to go forward and maybe try and battle for the silver. But like I said, the first statement about Egypt remain the favorites, because, you know, Mohamed Salah is a person who you need to go there and prove a point, having already not had a good moment with Liverpool the last 5 matches, having been benched. And now he's coming here with in that situation where by now he's not in a good form, but now he has to do it with the Pharaohs so that he can prove critics wrong that, hey guys, I'm still the Mohamed Salah and I'm still the king of the Pharaohs. But South Africa have also a chance here to prove that, yes, we have been growing progressively. We have missed a certain number of tournament, but right now we are in Morocco, a place where we can at least also try and write history and lift this title thing for the second time since 1996. So I think it's not going to...
Aside from that, I know Cedric will want to tell you that Angola will be spoilers in this group.
But
briefly.
it will not be based on what we saw at Chan.
But we saw them in the last AFCON.
In the last AFCON, of course, they have always been going deep into the tournament most of the time. And you know, also they hosted it the last decade, and they were a thorn in most of these top teams. And you know, the likes of Mabululu, yeah, those are the players, some of the players we are going to look forward to see. Yeah, they are trying to prove a point and try to maybe come out as the dark horses of this group. But of course, Zimbabwe and South Africa, that's a derby. They're close to each other. So for them, maybe their game can end in a draw and give a leeway to a team like Angola, so that Egypt and Angola can maybe sneak through.
Yeah, so let's move to Group C. And Davis Mbere, you were in Tanzania. What are you expecting from the Taifa Stars as well as Uganda Cranes? They are in the same group with Nigeria and Tunisia, a team that qualified for the World Cup without losing a single match.
Ni kundi ambalo linahusisha mataifa mawili yanayotoka kanda Afrika Mashariki, na isi kwamba Tanzania katika safari yao ya kufuzu mwamko huo haujakuwa mzuri sana, lakini pia Uganda wamekuwa wazuri. Kwa hivyo itakuwa dabi kubwa, lakini macho yote yatakuwa yanaangazia Tunisia, ambao katika safari yao ya kufuzu katika dimba hili hawakudondosha mechi yoyote na walimaliza kidedea katika kundi lao. Lakini pia Nigeria, kila mmoja atakuwa anaangazia, manake hawaja kuwa na msururu mzuri wa chana kombe la AFCON, ila kombe la dunia ambalo wamekumbwa na pata shika nyingi zaidi. Kwa hivyo nahisi kwamba
pia kuna mojawapo ya washambulizi hatari duniani.
Hatari. Namzungumzia Osimhen ambaye anafanya vizuri zaidi, lakini pia wana wachezaji wazuri ambao asilimia 90 wanacheza katika ligi za Ulaya. Zungumzia kina Demola, ni wachezaji ambao, kwa hivyo nahisi kwamba watatumia mashindano haya hasa kudhihirishia dunia kwamba tulisuasua katika mechi za kufuzu kombe la dunia, lakini katika hili dimba la AFCON kocha atakuwa makinifu zaidi. Tunisia kwa kawaida mchezo wao hautabiriki, watashambulia saa ngapi, watamaliza lini, na watakuwa wanatumia ufundi upi. Kwa hivyo nahisi katika kundi hili Nigeria wataongoza, Tunisia watafuata, lakini katika nafasi hii ya tatu, debi ya Afrika Mashariki, kuna uwezekano Uganda kamaliza katika nafasi ya tatu.
Very, very interesting. Sedo, in 30 seconds, Group C.
I still have a passion and I put my cards on Uganda, because we have seen in the previous Africa Cup of Nations, drawing back to 2019, Uganda were actually pulled together with Egypt, and you could see the likes of Lumala, what they did there. They go there with a purpose and they play some beautiful soccer if it comes to tournament like. Right now, following Uganda, I've liked the likes of Rogers Torach, Regan Mpande. They have the likes of Halida Awucho, who are still controlling that particular midfield. John Semubaga. They have the Mukwalas, another number 9. They have a flair kind of player who will be bringing in a different style. And remember, Uganda is not a team that faces any other forces with that a lot of fear, like what we could see in the other East African matches. So as to say, if they can frustrate Tanzania and pick 3 points from Tanzania, and maybe leave Tanzania to frustrate either Nigeria, and we have seen Nigeria is quite frustratable, because we have seen how they played against Benin. Nigeria, those so-called big players trickling all the way from Europe, they have not gelled up very well. And when they come together, they don't play as a unit. So to get a team that has been together like Uganda, have been playing with a purpose, they can be frustrated and maybe pick a draw from there. And remember, there are 24 teams, which means the best number 3 can still qualify to the knockout stage.
Yes.
So it's all about mathematics that can make one of the East Africa country to be in round of 16.
Roger Seshtemi, let's move to Group D, an also very interesting group where you have Senegal, DR Congo, Benin, and Botswana.
DR are wounded, having been beaten by Senegal in the World Cup qualifiers. So I think this is a very interesting group, because Senegal, I think, having also been the champion a few years ago, with the likes of Sadio Mane, Ismail Issa. Those are the players who everybody's talking about in the global at the moment, because they're in a fine form. Save for Mane, who went, of course, in the Saudi. But he's still that Mane who have been scoring goals. Like him or hate him, he's still a man who made Salah not to win the title, I think, 2022. So DR Congo, of course, they are using a long route to qualify for the World Cup, yes. But whatever they saw...
They called back Gal Kakuta. Is he going to be very influential for them?
Yeah, it depends. It depends the game now, the opponents, how they are going to assess them. But, we have seen what Kalkakuta has been doing abroad and his ability and the experience is bringing this team. And remember, also, you have the likes of San Bissaka, the former Manchester United. Sadiq. These are players, the like of Masuaku. Yeah, those are the players who definitely are going to lift DR Congo because DR Congo has been on an upward trajectory. Yeah, and you really love the way they're playing. They're playing with their whole heart for the country, despite the struggles they have back home.
How will the group end?
Of course, it will end. I put my money on DR Congo and Senegal because Senegal, of course, right now they're coming there maybe just to prove that they're still the giants. But the person who really want to go further into this tournament are the DR Congo.
Yes, let's go to Group E. Davis Beria, Group E, Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan.
Sudan watakuwa wanatumia michuano hii. Hakuna yeyote ambaye amewaangazia zaidi, lakini nahisi kwamba ni baadhi ya timu ambazo zitakuwa zinaangaziwa zaidi. Katika safari yao ya kufuzu walionyesha kwamba wana uchu fulani na mtindo ambao walikuwa wanatumia. Kila mmoja angeona kwamba ni Sudan ambayo inazidi kubadilika jinsi michuano hii inavyoandaliwa. Lakini Algeria wapo hasa katika kanda yao ya nyumbani Uarabuni, wamezoea nyuzi joto za kule, wamezoea anga za kule. Kwa hivyo nisi kwamba watakuwa na watapewa kipaumbele kuongoza kundi, lakini haitakuwa rahisi vile kuzingatiwa kwamba Burkina Faso na Equatorial Guinea watakuwa baadhi ya mataifa ambayo yatakuwa pale kuharibia timu yoyote ambayo itataka kufuzu katika hasa hatua ya 16 bora. Kwa hivyo Algeria ataongoza, lakini nahisi kwamba kati ya Equatorial Guinea na Sudan sasa hapo ndio kuna mtihani.
So, but we've seen Burkina Faso, and make it brief, we've seen Burkina Faso always flatter to deceive.
Yeah, they have a quality. You have the likes of Dango Ouattara, who is again enjoying his form. When he moves forward, he moves with a purpose. And we have the likes of Traore in that particular. So let's not forget that this is a team that has been in almost each and every Africa Cup of Nations. So it comes to this, there's nothing to fear. And more so, we need also not forget that Algeria is still carrying on the squad that has been there since ever. Those players since
2019.
Yeah, in Algeria, they actually on their sunset. The likes of Mahrez, who again has gone to retire elsewhere. They have the likes of Ent Nouri, who has not actually been playing back at Man City. Remember, has just come from injury. So Algeria is not a force that used to be there to torment team. If Burkina Faso can assemble their squad and they have the likes of Dango Ouattara up front and the like of Traore, I see Burkina Faso actually giving Algeria a run for their money in this particular group.
Additional to that, Robinson, I think also the rivalry between Algeria and Morocco will give those other teams a lot of advantage because, Algeria coming to Morocco, that's a very tough hunting ground for them.
Group F, final one, Cedric. Yes, the final group. You have Ivory Coast, the defending champions, Cameroon, Gabon, and Mozambique.
I presumably think that this, to me, it's a group.
These two teams met in the group stage again in the previous tournament.
And their rivalry actually is now have to settle at Morocco. Remember, Ivory Coast, whatever path they used to clinch, they are the defending champs, and whatever they used to clinch the previous Africa Cup of Nations, they had actually to work on the Cameroonians' head. So as this team, when they meet, there will be a sort of rivalry. You are the one who eliminated me in the last Africa Cup of Nations. I'm here to show you that I'm still the powerhouse Africa. Cameroon with 5 cups into their shelf does not really mean that they are pushed over into this particular. And if you go by the quality and whatever that has happened in Cameroon, I think Ivory Coast stands at a better chance. Also the quality that is bringing, the likes of Amadi Diallo, they are coming back now to enjoy. They have dropped some of their players like Adingra. That shows you that they are bringing in the...
They still have quality.
Yeah, quality, the likes of Casonia and Diamonde in that particular squad. They have the likes of Ndika, who are dry trading in AC Roma. So the quality, the Frank Kessie in that particular midfield, the quality that Ivory Coast is bringing in is what everyone is looking at. Leave alone the Cameroon that they don't know who is to be called in and who is actually to be dropped out. The Onana that will be here is not with that particular team. So as to say, the likes of Abakar is not in. Maybe Abakar, who called Basagog, if they raise to occasion, because this might be their last Africa Cup of Nations, they're the one that they will be focused on by all sorts of camera lenses.
Gabon will not be a pushover.
They won't. Of course, their talisman will miss the opening match. That is Pierre Aubameyang. But having seen what they've been doing, I think they can capitalize on the confusion in the Cameroon camp and try and maybe get themselves into the next stage. But of course, even Mozambique, they shouldn't be just written off, because it looks like this is a group of death, of course, but anything can happen. If you get a point in your opening match, definitely you have a bigger chance of getting through. But Gabon definitely gonna be like the dark horses of that group.
Nahisi kwamba katika kundi hili Cameroon watakuwa na kibarua kizito, manake muda mchache ambao kocha Kaimu amepewa kutaja kikosi chake na kukiandaa vizuri.
Alikitaja ama alipewa na Ito?
Lakini ni yeye kocha Kaimu amepewa wajibu. Nahisi kwamba watakuwa na mtihani mzito zaidi, manake wachezaji pia hawajui mwelekeo mkubwa, umeitwa kikosini, unafaa kuitwa ama haufai kuitwa. Kwa hivyo nahisi kwamba utakuwa mtihani mkubwa kwa Cameroon, lakini kuna uwezekano mkubwa na wapa Cote d'Ivoire nafasi ya kufuzu, ila pia Gabon wana uwezekano wa kumaliza nafasi ya pili.
While at it, Robinson, you know, Cameroon have always been thriving in chaos. Look at the history, how they've been doing their performance at the continental and international level. There are always some side shows before they go for these major events, and fortunately, they always sneak through. And until maybe the group stages, that's when they are knocked out. So
yes,
maybe it
Davis,
can repeat itself.
Davis, we've looked at all the 6 groups. Which one are you looking forward to? The action from which group are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to kundi ambalo linahusisha timu mbili kutoka Afrika Mashariki.
Group C.
Sasa nitataka nijue.
Tuangalie Group C. Group C vile inakaa. This is the group that Davis Mbere will be looking forward to watching the games in this group: Nigeria, Tunisia, Uganda, and Tanzania. Rogers Eshtemi?
The group of death involving Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Mozambique, and Gabon.
That is Group F. Cedric Musumba?
Still think Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Gabon, and Mozambique. Just as I said, is one of a group of death that everyone will be looking at to see how the two up team that how they will be faring on in this particular tournament.
Yes, remember Africa Cup of Nations kicks off on Sunday. The hosts of Morocco will be taking on Comoros in the opening fixture in Rabat. Now,
unajua kabla ya kusonga,
yes,
Eshtemi amesema group of death yake ambayo ndio atakuwa akifuatilia. Also Cedric has done the same.
Yes,
is the group that my brother there has talked about. Kenya, Uganda, I think Nigeria and
Kaka Kenya.
Not Kenya, sorry. Tanzania, Uganda. I think I'm still in Kenya.
Na wanyima nafasi Tanzania.
Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria and Tunisia. Will it be your group of death, or which one is your group of death?
Amesema
hiyo ndio atafocus nayo. I get that.
Kuna balo mimi nitaliangazia. Nataka kuna timu gani itafuzu, kama kuna timu ya Afrika Mashariki ambayo itaingia katika 16 bora ama zitadondoka.
Naelewa hilo. Sasa ndio nauliza swali langu la pili, labda ni group of death. Group of death.
Nio kundi fa.
F.
Kaka, sasa tumekuachia usukani. Ni wewe na utueleze wa Kenya wamesema.
Nijue sasa vile nitahandle. Hii dakika
time to shine.
Hii dakika kidogo.
Sasa hata tuongee.
Bas. Mimi sasa nina shine tu kwa kusoma SMS.
Piga gitaa.
Wacha moja kwa moja. Kwa 22151, the question was about who will win the AFCON 2025. Na naona watu wengi sana wanapigia upato Morocco kupata ushindi ama Senegal, na pia kuna wale ambao wanazungumzia Egypt. Nadhani sana because of the special focus on Mohamed
Salah.
Mo Salah. And of course Eshtemi said that he has been on the bench severally, so definitely he might be proving a point maybe to the manager at Liverpool. Morocco, hujasema wewe ni nani? Kwa 22151, Egypt is this is Samuel from Migori. Morocco to win in AFCON, that's Munene. Morocco to win, Kate Mawia from Kaliwa. Ampatience Kageha from Mathare. Egypt will win. Juvila Liverpool ilifanyia Salah, he needs to prove to them that he's still the reigning pharaoh. Morocco to win from huyu ni Albert from Malindi. Jorim from Nyamira anasema Morocco. Then Egypt. Egypt umeshikanisha sana, lakini naona kama ni Alex from Kisii. Umeshikanisha sentence moja. Morocco to win ni Munene, nimesoma hiyo. My name is Patrick from Banana. Egypt ndio mabingwa. Then we have Jorim from Nyamira pia anasema Morocco, and then Egypt will win. Master from 021 sijui ama ni Muranga hiyo. Senegal will carry the day. Morocco to win, asante sana. Pia kuna Morocco will win. Orlando Brands from Dunga Beach, Kisumu. Kenya ni 2027 AFCON champions.
Mwambie ameenda mbele sana.
Amekimbia.
Amekimbia.
Tudili na hii kwanza. Tudili na hii. Haya, Senegal, Jane from Nyahururu, asante. Then there's someone saying Uganda. That's very interesting. Someone is talking of Uganda. That is interesting. Hello, Uganda will win. Huyo ni Georgie. So unaona watu wanaona mambo. Mwangi from Kayola anasema Morocco will win. Asante sana. Samuel Muzae, asante sana, anasema pia Morocco will win. Evans anasema Morocco will win. Na Algeria, huyo ni Joy Free. Asante sana. Those just some SMSs. Nikimalizia kabla tufunge Robi, acha niingie Facebook nisome mbili. Kuna Renson anasema Morocco, kuna Philip Dawson anasema Morocco will carry the day. Pia wawili Goa Found anasema Congo unmatched. Hiyo ndio SMS yake. Sasa ni baadhi tu ya
before tufunge. No, nirudishie zile groups. Wewe utakuwa unaangalia group gani?
Mimi nitakuwa nikiangalia ya kwanza ambayo imebeba the host. Morocco, Mali, Zambia, Comoros. Na niangalia tu kwa sababu ya Morocco.
Umeuliza wa Kenya who's going to win AFCON 2025.
Yes.
Sasa wewe tueleze
who is going to win
kushinda. Wewe kama mtabiri.
Okay, si mtabiri. Lakini kama Shebik. Morocco or Egypt.
Sedo, who's going to win?
You know, I'm spoiled of choices.
Yes.
Just
pick one.
I'm
pick
spoiled
one,
of choices because the qualities that we are going to witness in the near.
Sedo, pick one. Okay, pick one on two. Pick
My
two.
surprise pack might be the DRC, given the quality that they have, and also they are playing with a purpose, a build up towards the playoff. So they will play with the purpose.
Tell me who's winning. Sedo amesema DRC. You, who's winning?
It will not be easy for that trophy to leave North Africa. So Morocco, they're chasing their second trophy in their history since 1976. Morocco and Egypt.
Senegal. Umetoka Uganda tena. Thank you very much. Davis Maria, Rogers Ishtemi, Cedric Msumba, as well as Daniel Kariuki, of course, for finding time to come and give us insights on what to expect in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations that kicks off on Sunday. That is the 21st of December, with the host Morocco taking on Comoros. Unfortunately, that is where we wrap up our show tonight. But we'll be taking a short break. Tukirudi, tutaendelea na Africa Cup of Nations. Remember, we said it's beginning to look like Christmas. Hapo nimefunga. My name is Robinson Okenya. Have a good night.
Si useme hata we wish you a merry
Christmas. Chia umalize kwanza.
Oh, sawa, mimi nami nasema shabash.
Haya, unaweza waimbia Christmas basi.
Acha tuonane mwaka ujao.
Krismasi imefika. Share the love, spread the love. El Tazen.